Howdy folks, welcome to episode 98. We're going to go ahead and get all of these beams loaded. I believe that's what we needed, right? Was it beams? Where are we going with these? We're going to the coal mine, aren't we? Or were we going back down to here? We got this all loaded, right? Was it that? No, it is that. It's lumber that we need, not beams. Okay. And we need 50. Okay. And the coal? That's what we were doing. We were bringing the beams over to the coal mine and picking up coal. And we needed 54 beams. Is that what it was? Let's check out the coal mine. Let's do this again. Let's just check out the coal mine. Whoops, not M, H. Industries. I think that's what we were doing, was we were loading up the coal mine. Yeah, we need twice as many, so we need 54 beams. Okay, that's what it was. All right, I just wanted to make sure before we like load all this stuff up and then don't even need it, right? Okay, so let's do this. And I believe our track is open here. Make sure. Yeah, see, those two engines are down there, so we're okay to come around this corner. All right, if we need to. Because we got all this stuff here. Yep. See, we got to bring these all the way across, so it's going to take a minute. Let's see, we can do this. It's really laggy right now. All right. You can do it. Yeah, it's really, the frame rate is pretty poor right now. Okay, and I'm not running this on a potato. That's just Unreal Engine games. It's funny because somebody pointed it out, and it's totally true that basically Unreal Engine and the other one, whose name I won't even mention because the people who bought it are scum and don't deserve to be mentioned or to make any money. Basically, those two engines, they're made to impress developers with, wow, I can make a game that's really gorgeous, you know, and that's their thing, is to get people to start developing with them with the idea, you know, that they can make a game that's super cool looking, that just looks amazing, you know. And so that's, you know, and at the prices that this, but no, that's what those are. And so you end up with games that, even when you do get a game that looks really pretty, it's really, really hard for anybody to optimize them to any reasonable degree. So, I mean, if you're that good at programming, you wouldn't be using a game engine. You'd just be doing it yourself, you know, make your own thing and optimized for the specific thing that you're doing. Come on, you can do it. Okay, so we're going to try, let's see if we can get it at 8%. Yep, that's going to go in there. Let's see if we can come by at 8%, if it'll keep us going through. And we need 54, so we need 18 of these. So we're 1/6, we're like 16 2/3% of the way there. All right. So this is 4.5, so that's 1/4 of the way there. Come on. There we go. See, the 8% is starting to become inadequate. See if we can get this up to like 10%. No, we'll try 12. We'll see if that works. But yeah, part of that is because the weight is increasing, but I think a big part of that is because that's going around the corner now too. There. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6. Some kid. It just reminds me, some kid on the elementary route was trying to count. Somebody was doing something that was annoying, like repeating something or whatever. They were singing something, a song or whatever it was. They were doing something that was annoying to them, and so to be annoying back, they started counting. You know, because their logic was, you're in trouble for counting. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to tell on you. You're counting, right? But they thought it would annoy the other person, so I started counting, and I could hear them, and so I started yelling out random numbers. 72, 64, 83, 47, They thought it was funny, too. My passengers know I'm crazy. That's 7. So this is going to be 8. All right. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I think we're going to have maybe one thing that's empty. At least the coal mine has only one output, and so you don't get robbed on the outputs. Watch what's going to happen is this is going to get so resistant that we have to pull it up to like 100%, and then it's just going to come off the rails. See, it's almost already doing that with this. See if we can get it up to 30. There we go. There we are. All right. Seems about a reasonable speed. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10. We've got 10 so far. I mean, I try to do it faster, but I mean, then you have to speed up and get to these and stop and do both of them at the same time, and then go again, and then stop, and then go again. And it's easier if you just kind of do this. Maybe. 36%. But yeah, it's funny, you do notice that the games made in these, like especially Unreal Engine, is just, the performance on it is pretty outrageously bad a lot of times. And I mean, the cool thing is they are coming up with really cool technology. 6, 7, 8, that's 12. They're coming up with really cool ways to do things like the nanite system, and they're coming up with ways that you can have super duper detailed terrain and really sophisticated lighting and that kind of thing. And they will get better at that, at being able to do that in such a way that it runs better. 4, 8, 13. But in the meantime, the thing is, by the time they do that, then the expectation from everybody will be that, everything is ridiculously even more difficult to. It's always pushing the thing to where it's like, unless you have the absolute top end, the fastest PC in the world, you're running at 10 frames per second. That's the standard for game graphics. And it's funny too, because having grown up with stuff where it's like, you're these 3 white lines. You're a H. You're like a giant H made out of like 7 blocks. 3 squares here, 3 squares here. Making 2 lines, right? 3 squares and then a little thing, and that's you. You're a tank. You're a tank, and that little square, the 1 square that's smaller, that's bouncing around, that's your bullet. Or you're a ship that's just an outline. And people like talk about immersion, and it's like, immersion is not something that happens on the screen. It's something that happens here. It's something that you do. You can't. The game cannot immerse you. You immerse yourself. You're doing it wrong if you're blaming the game for not being immersive or whatever. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. It's like, sorry about your crappy imagination. Whenever people complain about immersion, it's like, sorry about your imagination. That must really suck. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, we got 16. We only need 2 more. Because I'd rather have a decent frame rate and not the choppy stuff and worse graphics, personally. I'd rather have, you know, garage shaded whatever. But I don't know. I even remember that when I was an arcade brat and hanging out at the arcades. And I'd be like, you know, this game is awesome. And they're like, but look at the graphics, they're terrible, you know. And then I'd complain about some other game. This game is not fun to play. And they're like, but look at the graphics. And it's like, who cares? Apparently you do. All right. I mean, if the gameplay isn't fun, then looking at something that looks more realistic doesn't make up for that. I don't understand that. I want to enter a world that's more realistic but not fun. Okay. All right. Everybody got their own preferences. We're going to have to back up, I think, in order to... Are we going to back up? No, we can actually... You know what? I know what we're going to do. We're going to come around... What is it? Did it break? Did it break or what? It must have. It must have broken. Did we? Yeah, something. Yeah, okay. All right. Let's go like this. Let's see what happened. Something broke. We were only 1 car away, too. So sad. All right. Let's go forward if we can. Let's see how many of these we can pull away. This one is off the track a little bit. Let's see if we pull forward what happens. Oh, and we probably should check our fuel and everything too. 9%, see? And it just didn't do anything because I was an inch too far away. All right, and then this one. I'm sure that was nice and disorienting, wasn't it? And we'll be up to 93% on this. Oh, it did do 94. Okay, so let's see what we can get to happen on this. Huh. It still thinks they're all connected. Okay. Let's see if we can pull forward a little bit. I mean, because we need to make room. We need to make room so that we can... There we go. We need to make room so that we can re-rail things onto there anyway. Okay. See if we can get this thing that before it goes too far. Yeah, there. Can we get it? Oh, can we get beams on there? Come on. Oh man, you stupid thing. Seriously? Ah, that sucks. We had it too. And now it's going to do this stupid thing again. Okay. Now we need to go forward. Because it's going to be stupid again. Alright. Let's bring it forward some more. Alright, so what we need to do is re-rail all this garbage. The problem is that we're still not going to be able to turn all this stuff past the corner. Whoops. Re-rail this one. Okay, it's going to put the brake on this side. All right. Is this one on the track? These are on the track. Okay, these are all on the track. All right, let's see if we can do this thing. You know what? I'm going to do this while we're sitting here. We're going to do this thing. We're going to go over here, put some coal in this, There we go. Okay. We're going to get that one heating up. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over this way. We're going to see if we can get this car loaded, and then we can worry about shunting everything. Maybe we can even attach this to the back, and then we can have this push while the other one's pulling. Maybe. It's always problem solving, isn't it? There we go. Because we got to let this build up so that we can get our steam back. Alright. Reverser. Okay. See if we can get this to push up a little bit. I think what we can do is we can attach this on the back, and then it should control both the locomotives, and then this will be pushing from the back, and that'll help that get around that corner, maybe. Maybe. I don't want to use up my steam and then not be able to move once we hook this up, so we're just going to do this and see if we can get it to go. I mean, because the other option is to pull these out. We could try that. We could disconnect these at the whatchamacallit. We'll see if we can push them at all. See if we can get this to go. Go. There we go. Okay, because what we can do is we can see we're still losing. There we go. Okay, so let's do this, and now we're going to come back here, and we're going to disconnect the train here, just because it's a psychologically convenient place to disconnect it, right? All right, we're going to disconnect it there. We're going to need to re-disconnect it because that isn't going to help, is it? Okay, so let's come in here. We're going to back up and reconnect this. And then we're going to pull just these around the corner. And then the other one we're going to push with the other engine. See, I think that's the problem, is the hill. That's the real problem, is the hill. It's not the corner. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is our brake is fully on. Okay. I'm going to go back here. We're just going to disconnect this. There we go. And see if we can get this to go around the corner. So let's go back here. Okay, good. It's reverser is that way. See if it'll pull. There we go. All right, cool. See if we can get this to pull around the corner. Because the thing is, once we get over this tiny little hill here, it's going to be like da-da-da-da-da-da, and it's going to go really fast. So I just want to hear the engine. I don't want to push that much. There we go. Okay. Much better. Yeah, that hill's the big issue here. So we just need to get this far enough along. We need to get this far enough along that the, whatchamacallits. Do that. That these cars are way past this. so that we have enough room to push all of these back into here. So we need to get the back of that car like all the way out here, I think. See, those are resisting going up the hill while these are pulling. So it's kind of messy. All the physics of that is kind of messy. Alright, now I think we're good. So we just need to get this car. Why isn't the whistle working now? We're going to get this car all the way up past this wooden thing, at least. Because we need to get all these cars past this switch. Where is our... Okay, our engine's way out of the way. Okay, good. We're good then. Because that's going to go from there. We still even have logs. That's cool. Alright, we'll try this here. Let's see if this works. See if that gives us enough length. I think that's going to be pretty close. Because see, this is where the engine is. And the other cars were about even with that. So we'll see if we can get this past here. Because then that one can get back out of the way. That one can get back out of the way over here. And then we can go over to the coal mine. Alright. Let's go like this. Alright, and we should be... See, now we're all heated up and everything too. Cool. Alright, let's get them moving. Because the problem is not the sharpness of the corner, it's that stupid hill. So if we don't have momentum, is when it gets ugly. The lack of momentum is what makes it ugly. There. Let's see how this looks. That thing down there makes me nervous too. I don't like that thing being there. Pretty sure it's just deco, but... Okay. I think we got it. Alright, so we're going to watch this come around, and then we need to make sure we don't overrun that too. Let's see what happens when we... Okay, when we coast, we're still good. Okay. We're still good to coast, so we're not being, like, massively pushed down this hill or anything. See, I think that's probably where we were running into problems, is that is just enough... It's just enough off the thing. Okay. Okay, cool. That right there is going through the ground. That's a problem. Am I out of... Oh, I'm out of fuel. Because I only put in one scoop. But that's not the problem, though. That's... Yeah, I'm still at 4%. I'm not running out of steam. Because we need to get this whole thing past that switch. And I think we've got room to do that. Because, see, we need from here to here. And we've got from here to here. Yeah, we've got room to do it. Okay. We might have a couple of... I'm glad I brought it way farther than I initially had thought. Because I was just thinking I need to see... Because back here, I just needed to get it there. But we would have had all this space left over. We had to get out and move the other one and all that stuff, too. So, glad we didn't do that. It's weird that that's as hard as it can push. There must be just enough of a hill. There must be just a little bit of a hill. Okay. Let's see what happens here. If we can get this. Yep, we got... Oh, that's perfect. I couldn't have planned that any better. Okay. That... We're going to hit the brakes here. We're going to put... We're going to disconnect this. And I'm hoping these will stay where they are. Let's see. Looks like they're going to. Okay, cool. We'll get this back into here. All right. And then we need to switch this. And we should be good. Oh, we need to switch this too. Because otherwise we're just going to back onto that. And that's going to be a problem. Okay. So this should be all good to go. We got our steak car. That's the one that you use after you do the meat cars, right? Wah, wah. Okay. Reverser. It's doing that again. There we go. Oh, I think it depends on which engine I'm sitting in. Huh. So if I'm sitting in the other engine, I can hear the noise. If I'm sitting in the front engine or whatever. Yeah, that's interesting. Very interesting. Okay. This, we're going to watch this clank together here. And we should be good. Cool. So we need to go past these switches. This one up to the coal. And then like that. And then we can drop off. And I don't think we're going to have room to do all of them, but we'll just do the back end and then whatever, and then we'll shunt stuff out, and then we'll do the rest. And I think we're going to just be... We'll just have time to get there today, maybe. Yeah, we're not going to get there and unload in 2 minutes, so... There we go. I can hear the engine, but I can't hear the whistle. You gotta love it. Should we do Pine Valley next? After this one? After this really, really, really flat map? We do Pine Valley where everything you can get like 3 cars up a hill. This is going to get dark, and then we're not going to be able to see that the giant pile-up that's going to happen. Because I'm sure I screwed something up. Story of my life. I must have screwed something up. Yeah, we're only going 15. How's this? Where's this at? We're past the switches here. Okay. That whistle is like so quiet, isn't it? Wow, we're already at the next switch too. Because that's the one that goes up to the coal mine, isn't it? Yeah, that's the one that goes up to... Okay, cool. We're only going 16. See if this will speed us up at all. I didn't think so. Nope, that doesn't speed us up. It must be just ever so slightly uphill, or we've got somebody has the brakes on. I don't know. All the cars that I re-railed, I turned the brakes off. We only re-railed 2 cars, and we turned the brakes off on them. So there's no reason for brakes to be on. The other thing about the engines is, like, they didn't really take advantage of... I mean, you could do this kind of graphics in an engine that doesn't have so much overhead. You can... I mean, these are just... There's nothing magical about the stuff that they did here. Maybe the clouds... I don't know. Maybe the clouds are something that you can only get from Unreal. But... like the landscape and stuff isn't super... I mean, and it's not only that, but the landscape has a limitation that they made it, like, really, really difficult. You can't dig your own tunnels in real time. They have to have, like, prefabricated, and they basically have to kludge their way around it and, you know, cheat in order to have tunnels. There we go. Alright, cool. So that's going to be it for episode 98, because, yeah, we're out of time for today. So join me in episode 99. We will get these beams unloaded, and I think we'll have to do a little shunting to do that. We'll at least have to split this in half, I think. We'll get the beams unloaded, and then we'll go get all of our coal, because, yeah, we're going to have to do that in order to get the coal on here, too. We're going to have to split these off, which shouldn't be a problem, because we got those sidings that go through the tunnel. But anyway, yeah, that's going to be it for episode 98. Join me in episode 99, and we'll see you then. Later.